Peace, blessings, and much love given to you and you. My name is Miss Nakaruka. It's the day after Thanksgiving, which I don't celebrate because I decided to not spend $50 and $60 on food for me to overeat, which is really unhealthy for the body. So anyway, I must burn my incense to rid of any negative energy because everything carries energy. And this is one of my spiritual practices. Between my incense stick or my sage, which I had to order some more, and I will light it and I will let the smoke as I ask for my environment to be cleansed of any negative energy, as well as my aura. So I would take this and go around my body with the smoke to clear my aura of any negative energy. Even I do it for the whole household. I may do it for my altar table. This right here is my ancestral slash ritual altar. Yeah, that's what I call this. I have the 3 white tea light candles. That's I'm lighting that for my ancestor, which is my mother, because she has passed. And I have my Florida water, which have spiritual benefits to it. I'm just learning about it, so I can't really talk about it right now. But once I get all the information, I'll do a video on that. Of course, I got my little Buddha incense holders, because I love incense. And my Buddha neck broke because I sat on him. So I had to put some tape around it until I get some glue so I can fix it. But these are my incense holders where I like my incense and they collect the ashes for me. So I put out a glass of water for my mom, her alcohol glass, because she did like drinking brandy, beer, and wine. Heck, she drank whatever. Then I put out some candy for her. Sometimes I might put out a small plate of food, just a little bit, and leave it out for maybe 30 minutes and then discard of it because it does bring roaches. You can't leave it out for long periods of time. And I have some stones over in here, and I have my little cordial in where I will burn ancestor money in. I haven't done that yet because I'm still researching on that. This table has been of great benefit to me spiritually. My mom passed away 3 years ago. And before she passed, she was having these episodes where she was confused, very, very confused. And she knew what was going on with her, but of course, she was the type of mother that didn't want her children to worry, so she didn't tell us. So we all assumed, every time she would have one of these episodes, we always assumed it was the drugs because she was once a drug user. So we would be mad at her, not knowing that it wasn't the drugs, it was her disease that she had, that she was in the last stages of her disease that was causing the confusion. And I found that out after I got her death certificate and I looked at the causes of death and I had to research the medical terms and find out that she was in the last stages of liver disease. And in the last stage, it caused you to be real, real cold because your body temperature is no longer regulated. It's out of control. And it caused her to be confused. And she would have these episodes and then she would come right back. But we always thought it was the drug use and it wasn't. So I had one on a kind of a guilt trip, mad at myself. Because I was there for her. Like I opened up my home and allowed her to come here. Right before because she was in transition of trying to get into the special senior citizen home. And I allow her to stay here with us while she go through the process. And I was there for her in that sense, but because I didn't know of the illnesses and I thought it was the drugs, I had kind of pulled myself away from it because I had dealt with the drug issue for over since my teen years. Yeah, since my teen years. But I felt that I could have, like if I would have known it was the illnesses and not the effects of drugs, I would have been making her more comfortable in her last days. You understand? I wouldn't even tell her for her to have moved into the senior citizen home. I would have just let her just stay here had I known what was going on with her. But my mom was the type of person, she didn't want her children to worry, so she didn't tell us that she was dying. Although I sensed that she was coming close to death and I was preparing myself for her death, but I had no idea that she was in her last stage of the liver disease and that was going to be her cause of death. So I wasn't there for her like I should have been. But I am thankful that I opened up my home to my mom's and allowed her to be here while she was going through her transition again to the senior citizen home. And she got in there, and she was only there for a week. She fought and fought and fought to get in that place. And I don't even think she was there for at least a week. And I remember her calling me at my job. I might get emotional. She called me at my job, and she had said to me, I know I got on your nerves and I drove you crazy, but thank you very much for being my daughter and being there for me. So when I told my sister what she said, she's like, Mommy about to go. Mommy's about to die. And no sooner after she made that phone call to my job, she passed away. And I know, I can't remember the last time I saw her before that. I know she was living here, but she would go and come back. She would go and come back, and I think right in March, I remember I had went with her somewhere to make sure, because she had broke her hip, fractured hip, and I had to make sure she got to a destination. That woman was too much. She had a fractured hip, and she didn't want no help. She got her little cane that they gave her, and she still took care of her business. But it was one day that I had to help. I said, I'm gonna make sure you get to your destination safely, because she had to get on the train. And if I'm not mistaken, so I might have saw her maybe 2 to 3 weeks, maybe 2 weeks before she got into the home. Because I know when she came here, I wasn't home. I was in New York. And my son had called me and said Grandma was there. And I was like, don't leave her in the house by herself, because I don't want her to have one of those episodes that she burned the house down. And that was the day she was coming to get some of the stuff, because she was moving in. And if I'm not mistaken, maybe 2 weeks later, she passed away. And it's crazy, because when she was in the hospital, I remember her always telling me, she was like, I'm telling you, because you're the oldest, when I pass away, and if I'm on life support, do not keep me on that life support for a long period of time, because I will come back and haunt your ass. She used to always tell me that. And I remember that, because when she was in the hospital, I think I kept her on life support for 1 week, enough for my brother to get up here from North Carolina, enough for my aunt to come up here from North Carolina, and my sister from New York. Once everybody got to see her, then I had to make a choice to take her off. But when I was talking to her, she was a fussy thing. Even though she was on life support and they was trying to suction her mouth, she was still fighting. She was still fighting them. But I said to her, I looked at her, and I said, "Are you in the pain? In any pain?" She was like, "No." I said, "Are you happy?" She was like, I said, "You ready to go?" She's like, with a smile. And she started going, smiling and humming. And that's when I said, well, I told the doctor she's ready. So I filled out all the paperwork. They gave her pain medicine, so she wouldn't feel any pain. And they took her off and put her in a room by herself, so she can go peacefully. And I didn't get up there because I went there Friday, but I said I was going to go back Sunday, not knowing that I won't be able to go back and see her no more, because that time, me pulling her off, when I requested that she be taken off the life support, was the last time I saw her. And I got a call from my brother that Saturday night saying she had gone. They set her in the room around 9. She went home around 1 a.m. that morning. Yeah, I had to pause because I got emotional. Because I miss her. I miss her because she had a mouth on her. She would tell you how she felt. A little taller than me, about my weight. But she was a feisty lady. And I miss her coming here and she would thoroughly clean my stove. Oh my gosh. She would get in there and clean the shit out of that stove. Cause she had OCD. Dirt. She go like this. She see dirt or she ready to clean. And I'm like that as well. Like I could be sitting watching TV and I see some dirt, I gotta start cleaning the whole house. But I miss her because she has some ways about her where I will never forget. When I see my stove, the top of my stove getting messed up, I'm like, oh, Mom, gonna get my ass. Let me go clean this stove. But I miss her something terribly. And I know she's proud of me because she did not approve of me marrying my second husband. She never met him because she was living in Philly while I was living in New York at the time. And then when I had got pregnant and they gave me a baby shower, when she came up to New York, the first thing she asked me, where was he? And I had to say, he's in jail. And she was about to go off, but my sister was like, Mom, no. And she let it be. And then when I married him, she didn't say nothing to me. She probably said, I'm going to have to let my daughter learn the hard way because that's the most dumbest shit she could do. And it was the most dumbest shit I could have done. But I learned my lessons. But my mom, she didn't put me down. She didn't call me stupid. She just let it be. And when I would get up 3, 4 o'clock in the morning to go take our daughter to see him, she would get up and meet me at the train station to make sure I got on the train station, right? Because she did to make sure I got on the train station because I was traveling from Philadelphia to New York to upstate. And I used to leave like 3 a.m. in the morning with my infant child, and she didn't approve of that either. But she was like, my daughter gotta learn. I'm not gonna say nothing. And she supported me, even though she was against it. And she never, ever badmouthed that man, said anything negative to me about him. She never did that. And I thank her for that. But she was like, my daughter gotta learn. My daughter gotta learn to love herself. My daughter gotta learn to respect herself. And my daughter gotta know to value herself. And my daughter gotta know, just because you lay down and have a baby by a man do not mean you gotta be with him. And I learned that. I did learn it. But after marrying him and him putting me and my daughter through trials and tribulations, I learned it, and I'm at peace with that as well because it's so sad that he did all this dirt to me and he talked about me and badmouthed me and allowed a side chick to do it too. But guess what? He knew he had a good thing. He know it. He knows it. That's why he don't want to divorce me. And we're not together. Been separated 3 years. And I know my mom looking down saying, yes, you got your backbone back. You got your dignity back. You got your self-esteem back. You got your self-worth back. So I know she is happy in that sense that I let him go, that I walked away from him. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I had to see what that message was about. But there she is, little sexy melanated self. Been through a lot in her life, and she had a hard time overcoming a lot. But she's at peace now, and I want to make sure she stay at peace. So I want to do right in my life. Because I believe she's always going to be with me. But yeah, this is my ancestral table / ritual table. Altar table, rather. It's an ancestral altar / ritual altar. Spiritual altar. Yeah, spiritual altar is what I call it. Where I come over here and pray, meditate, seek knowledge, all that good stuff to better me. But right now, I'm paying homage to my mom's. I'm going to have a glass of wine with her. And we're going to play her favorite songs. feed her some food later. But yeah, I think people should get in the habit of doing it because it will help you heal. You just, it gives you a chance to talk to them, even though they may not be here physically with you. But, they're not here yeah, physically with you, but spiritually, they're here with you. So much love to my moms. Peace, blessings, and much love.